Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to figure out what is the best Pokemon team in the whole Johto region. We're super excited to... Wait, we already did that now, didn't we? But see, dear viewer, this is precisely the point we're trying to drive. HeartGold and SoulSilver, despite being remakes of the original Johto games, somehow managed to have strategies very unlike those of the originals due to the updated mechanics and the changes added both to Pokemon available to you, the player, and to the opposition. And before you ask, no, the same cannot be said for Fire Red and Leaf Green, as the team we used for the original still does remarkably well in those games. Here are the rules for this challenge. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Upon starting the game, we're asked by Professor Elm to deliver a package for him and get to choose a Pokemon to start our journey with, giving us the first Pokemon for our run. Pokemon number 1, Typhlosion the Cyndaquil. Divergence from what we did for a Pokemon Crystal appears from the very start of the run, since we did not pick our usually trusty Totodile. Totodile no longer breaks the early game thanks to Rage being significantly nerfed from its Gen 2 state, where it allowed the Croc to solo the first 3 gyms on its own. Now, this is not to say that Feraligatr is now trash or anything. It is a decently good water-type Pokemon throughout, but no longer has its early game prowess, which makes it much less valuable in a game where there is a billion other water types, many of which are better than Feraligatr itself. Chikorita, by virtue of being a grass type, matches poorly into Jhoto, which would make it annoying to use since we can never change team members. Thus, the fire starter is the best one by virtue of getting the least in the way of everything else. After doing Professor Elm's errand and going on our own way, we immediately enhance our roster with 2 more great Pokemon. Pokemon number 2, Beak the Spearow. We will need a user of HM Fly, and the best ones, aka Gligar, Skarmory, and even Dodrio, are available painfully late in the run. The best options we had left were Crobat, which requires Friendship Evolution, and Fearow, who will be very helpful besides carrying us around. And speaking of very helpful Pokemon, Pokemon number 3, Alpharos the Mareep. You know him, you love him, it's Amphi. Amphi was absent in the OG version of this, mainly because it's not available in Crystal, but now it's back with a vengeance. Good stats, good typing, early evolution, and most importantly, the oh-so-important ability to deal with the first gym. In a few measly turns, Alpharos destroys Falkner completely and utterly, getting us our first gym badge. With our killer roster and first gym badge, we quickly get through Union Cape and have an uneventful encounter with the Rocket and Slowpoke well. What could be much more interesting is our encounter with the second gym leader, Bugsy. His new and improved Scyther with the U-turn TM can be quite the annoyance. However, we came prepared with a team of 3 Pokemon that can all hit it with stab super effective moves. We lead Beak, who valiantly fights against the mighty Bug but fails to 1v1 it with stab super effective aerial aces. We bring Typhlo, and luckily Scyther does not go away with U-turn and allows us to hit it with the fire move, getting the kill. We then easily proceed to beat up both the gym leaders' cocoons and thus obtain the second gym badge. Next up is Elix Forest, where we teach Typhlo the HM for cut, and Alpharos another crucial move for the run, Headbutt, courtesy of the Forest Move Tutor. Using this move, we can go back to Azalea Town and headbutt trees for the next Pokemon on our list. Pokemon number 4, Hera X the Heracross. Heracross is a bit rare and annoying to headbutt for, but then it more than makes up for it with its stellar stats, good typing, and moves, including the access to Brick Break at level 19. And guess who has a level cap of 19? Yup, that would be the next gym leader, Whitney, whom we just blaze through with our Bug's power, granting us the 3rd badge. We quickly make our way to Ecruteak City to find the next gym leader, Morty. Morty, in the HeartGold and SoulSilver iteration of his team, is now massively more threatening than he used to be, as Shadow Ball on Gengar is now a special move that uses Gengar's ridiculous special attack stat. We lead Beak, who's now a Fearow and manages to get a KO before falling asleep and having to switch. Once Haunter is defeated, the Gengar finally shows up. We go to our Sleeping Bird, and here is the cool thing about Fearow. It's a normal type Pokemon with a status move, so as long as you keep clicking Growl with it, it can safely sit on Gengar until it wakes up and outdamages the Boogeyman with physical attacks. From there, the rest of the battle is trivial, and we can get the 4th gym badge with ease. With the 4th gym badge in our hand, we can now use Surf outside of battle, which only means one thing: time to choose this run's water type. In a region where the Pokemon you actually care about using are mostly water types, this is going to be such an interesting display of our creativity in choosing the option most adapted to our particular— actually, we just picked Gyarados. Pokemon number 5, Upwork the Gyarados. Gen 2 Gyarados may be great, but it's absolute trash compared to Gen 4 Gyarados. Intimidate, physical water moves, Dragon Dance, access to Earthquake, this Pokemon is insane and it's gonna help us a lot. We call this Gyarados Upwork, which despite sounding like some paid sponsor requirement from us has a reason we'll tell you about in due time. For now, Beak the Fearow just spams moves until Chuck can barely fend him and his huge wings off with his last sliver of health, allowing Alpharos to get an easy win. Next up, we deal with Jasmine. We use Flow to 1v1 the first magnet, then Ace Steelix comes out, to which we bring Gyarados right into an incoming super effective move, which is scary until you realize that move is non-stab Rock Throw. Gyarados absolutely clobbers the Metal Snake. Second magnet comes in, we paralyze it with Amphi before Heracross deals the finishing blow, winning us the 6th gym. After more uneventful Team Rocket BS, we go on to face the 7th gym leader, Price, which for some reason, we completely hallucinate that his level cap was 37 instead of 34. Heracross gets one-shots on everything, and there is no world where this battle could have been even slightly challenging thanks to Johto's go-to gym leader designs. We then move on to yet more boring, tedious, and stupid Team Rock stuff, which we just sweep through with our massively powerful team. And speaking of massive amounts of power, it's about our team gets completed with the 6th and final Pokemon. Pokemon number 6, Average Tusk the Swinub. Mamoswine is an absolute beast. It has a very nasty ice and ground offensive typing, incredible stats, and offers a handy immunity to electric for Fearow and Gyarados to fall back on. We lost the ability Coin Flip, getting Snow Cloak instead of the much more useful Thick Fat, but it still remains a great addition to our team. For Claire, we lead Alpharos to cleanly one-shot her lead Gyarados, then switch to Fearow and sacrifice it to the first Dragonair. We then send our newly added Behemoth Average Tusk, which kills the dragon and brings in Kingdra. We proceed to switch to Upwork and get some damage before fainting. The chip thus inflicted to Kingdra allows it to be promptly KO'd by a close combat from Hera X, who also makes certain the last Pokemon on Claire's team, her second Dragonair, also falls to a mighty close combat. Not even a sweat. After having to deal with the gym leader's sore loser tendencies, we managed to get ourselves the 8th gym badge and thus be qualified to challenge the Elite Four. But HeartGold and SoulSilver have the new and incredible addition, in our opinion, of having a Kimono Girl gauntlet back to back to back to back to back. We choose Mamoswine as our lead Pokemon, and therefore are ready to absolutely dance. We use Hera X to deal with Umbreon, which manages to put up somewhat of a fight thanks to confusion antics before falling to a stab super effective close combat. The Espeon Lady is next. We decide to power through with Average Tusk. The Psychic Cat hits us very hard with a stab Psychic as we hit with a slower but powerful Earthquake, followed by a priority Ice Shard for a 1-2 combo kill. And speaking of combos, Average Tusk proceeds to outspeed and one-shot Flareon, then tank a hit from Jolteon and one-shot it as well. This Kimono Gauntlet is most certainly more difficult than any of the gyms, but having the absolute beast of Mamoswine makes it so much easier to deal with. In true Nuzlocke spirit, we have a few questionable switches against Vaporeon to try and get the Deathless W, but at this point we are far ahead, and a final flight from Fearow finishes the fumbling female fighters. We go on top of the tower, summon Ho-Oh, then just click run turn 1. Our go-to team is now ready to face the Jhoto Elite Four, starting with the Psychic-type Master, Will. We lead Alpharos to counter Xatu, but not before getting paralyzed by a sneaky discharge called by Xatu's first move. Next up is Jinx, who we use Typhlo for. Slowbro comes next, and it's back to Alpharos with another lethal discharge. Executor comes, then we go to Beak on Reflect. We manage to crit an aerial ace, but Eggy survives and puts us to sleep. Expecting the full restore from Will, we go to Typhlo and one-shot it with the special Flamethrower, which does not care about Reflect being up. Xatu comes last. There is a lot of ways to end this, and the one we chose is to sack Fearow and bring Alpharos for the W. 1 down, 4 to go. Next up is Koga. We lead Typhlo, which not only one-shots the Gyarados, but clears the incoming fortress as well. Muck comes next with its massive special defense, so we switch to average Tusk and hit a violent EQ for the one-shot. Tusk EQ does not manage to one-shot Venomoth, who poisons us in return, so we go to Typhlo on an expected full restore. Flo one-shots the bug, leaving Koga with only his ace Crobat. Crobat starts going for the annoying double-team shenanigans, but we try to use Fearow's aerial ace to deal with that. However, that turns out to be a really bad idea because of how weak the move is. So that leaves us with only one option: go to Alferos and hit a discharge through evasion boost, which we do. Second Elite Four member cleared. Bruno has a lineup of extremely dangerous Pokemon with good coverage and great— oh, wait. Hitmontop is walled by Gyarados. That can only mean one thing: 3 down, 2 to go. Karen is last. We lead Heracross to one-shot our Dark-type Umbreon. Murkrow comes next. We kinda stay in, expecting to outspeed and KO. We go Alferos and one-shot the bird. Houndoom comes next. We elect to leave Amphion to chip the Hound as it's the most dangerous Pokemon Karen has by far. We sacrifice the sheep and kill it with Upwork. Next is Vileplume, on which we go Fearow and 1v1. Then last is Gengar, whose only good damaging move is Focus Blast, so we go Gyarados for an easy win. Last but not least is Lance. We lead Fearow, which gets intimidated by Gyarados and chips it a bit before falling valiantly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the reason we have called our Gyarados Upwork. The reason that is a good name for a HeartGold Gyarados is because in this game, Gyarados provides us with a free Lance. We spam Dance, KO the enemy Gyara with Waterfalls, and just one-shot everything with either Waterfall or Ice Fang. And as a side note, we bought a wide lens from the game corner, so those Ice Fangs were perfectly accurate. In fact, the only reason we had to do the weird Fearow chip at the start is because we forgot to teach Return in place of Surf, which would allow Gyarados to full solo the fight, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Of course, next up is Kanto, and Gen 2 Kanto is boring. We just went through it, under-leveled most of the time. Sometimes that makes the fight a bit close, sometimes it doesn't. Jasmine is weak, Misty's not that good, Brock and Blaine are a joke, which leaves us with the actual interesting fights, Blue and Red. Blue leads with Eggy, which dies to Fearow but sets Trick Room and then sends the very slow Rhydon, making things a bit weird for us. We send it average Tusk and try to hit a super effective Blizzard, which we miss, and therefore will have to sacrifice our mighty Mammoth. We were not worried of that outcome though, as Blue's team is overall very good into our Mamoswine, and we managed to outstall the pesky Trick Room. We click Ice Shard for Chip, but Blue for some reason switches to Arcanine instead of finishing us, which we totally did not expect. We still sack Mammoth as we otherwise would have and send Upwork for a very easy 1v1 followed by a Rhydon kill. Machamp comes next and beats Upwork, but Beak revenge kills quite easily, getting Blue to bring his own Gyarados. We sack Fearow, bring Alferos to kill with Discharge, have Pidgeot KO our weakened Sheep, and finish Blue off with Typhlo. Last is Red, who also has a team very good into Mamoswine and fights us in Hail. We lead with the Mammoth, hoping that Snowcloak will make the already inaccurate Iron Tail miss, but it unfortunately doesn't. However, Mamo is an absolute champ, so it just tanks his super effective move and KOs back with EQ. We sack Mamo to the incoming Blastoise and brings Alferos to win with super effective discharges. Snorlax is next. We go Heracross and one-shot with close combat. Zard is up next. We go Upwork and tank a couple air slashes before one-shotting with a nasty crit waterfall. We then sack Gyarados to Venusaur and bring Typhlo. Flo does not manage to one-shot with Flamethrower, but the Grass Starter misses with Sleep Powder. We kinda give Red a freebie for all the RNG we got and elect to click Cut on purpose as he uses a full restore, and this time, Venusaur connects with the Sleep Powder. We are fully ready to sack Flo if we have to on this Venusaur, but he manages to wake up at the last moment to snatch the KO. Lapras is last. We chip it with Flo and deliver the final blow with Hera X, giving our ultimate team the crown. This challenge, despite being the same one as what we did for Crystal, turned out extremely different. This game had Mamoswine, which turned out extremely good. Feraligatr and Kadabra, the two best Pokemon to run the OG Gen 2 games with, were now not even considered, and overall the strategies we elected were very unique compared to the non-remake counterparts. We're very happy with the team we came up with, but if you have any Pokemon in mind which we missed or think would have been fun to try out, please tell us in the comments below, and have a nice one.